Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Muriel, this as told by Muriel. If you like what you see on this channel, if you like the information I give, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. This video is about taxes and nurses. So there are a lot of nurses out here like myself who work with agencies. We know with a lot of agencies you are a 1099 employee. You don't receive a W-2. At the end of the year you receive a 1099. 1099 employees do not pay taxes as far as you're getting paid. Taxes are not withheld. You are responsible for your taxes at the end of the tax season. Okay, so one thing I have found with some nurses, they say they don't want to go to agency because they don't want to owe all their money at the end of the year. They don't feel like they'll be able to save money in order to pay their taxes. I was talking to one of my coworkers at one of my staff jobs the other night, and he stated that when he worked for agency for a year, he said the money was so good, but then at the end of the year, that tax bill was, he was like, it was hell. He was like, and it feels like you're saving money only to have to owe it to the taxes at the end of the year. And I can understand where he's coming from, but I'm going to give you a little tidbit on how to hopefully try to offset some of that, avoid some of that. If you are one of those who want to work through an agency, but you're going to be a 1099 employee. So y'all know I work for, right now I'm currently working for 3 different agencies. I work for Integral Medical Staffing, which is an agency I believe is based right out of South Carolina, to be honest. Although they may be based out of somewhere else, but I believe they're based out of South Carolina. I also work with ShiftKey. ShiftKey is another agency that is nationwide. They have facilities, I believe, in all 50 states. So being that I live in South Carolina, if I decide I want to go work in another state and it's a compact state, I think right now there are like 25 or either 27 compact states. But if I want to go work in another state that's a compact state, I go somewhere to visit and it's a state that's a compact state, I can pick up a shift or two just, for some extra money in my pocket through ShiftKey. And I also work for a local facility that's called Consolidated. I don't go through them as often because they do not pay much, but they do daily pay. And so when I want some quick money, I'll go through them. They are not the best paid agency though here where I'm located. So I ran into the issue when I became more of an agency nurse, more so than a W-2 nurse through a staff job, of taxes. And so I made the decision on my own, y'all. This is what I do, and maybe this will help you. I have 2 staff jobs. I've always kept a staff job. Well, I'm gonna say at least 90% of the time I would have a staff job. I would be on someone's staff somewhere, and I would work a day or sometimes 2 days a week, but at least a day a week at that staff job. When I fill my paperwork out, when I get these staff jobs, I allow for more money to be taken out of my paycheck for taxes. So on average, I'll do anywhere from $50 to $100 a pay period to go extra towards taxes on top of what they're already taking. Because if you don't see the money, you won't miss the money. That's my way of thinking. Because I am an agency nurse, I would work, say, 2 or 3 shifts with the agency versus 1 with my staff job. Well, with that staff job, I'm allowing extra money to come out of my taxes. So at the end of the year, when it comes time to offset the taxes that I didn't pay through the 1099, I paid more with the W-2 job. And then once I add in my deductions, the interest on my home, stuff like that, I normally end up getting a refund back. Even though there have been some years where I have made like $96,000. I ended up getting a refund because I allowed for so much more taxes to be withheld from my staff job, and it offset the taxes that would have had to be paid through my 1099, if you understand what I'm saying. So like the job I'm currently working, staff, I have 2 staff jobs now. I believe one of them I have $100 extra being deducted, every week for taxes, extra on top of what they're already taking. And the other one I have like 50, no, I think I believe one I have $100 extra being taken every 2 weeks on top of what's already being taken for taxes. And then the one where I get paid weekly, I have $75 being taken every week on top of what's already being taken per staff. So when you add that up within a year, that's extra money that I'm paying towards my taxes, outside of what is already deducted. So once you do the math and once you add it up, all that money can go towards any taxes that I could potentially end up owing because of my 1099 employment. Now, mind you, with my 1099 employment, I have deductions because I drive a lot to these facilities. So mileage, I buy uniforms, just certain things, equipment. Even though I don't buy a lot of equipment, but I buy my blood pressure cuffs, I buy my pulse oxes, I go through like about 4 blood pressure cuffs a year. So every little thing, I use all those. Any medical, like when I have to pay for Querfrin Gold TB test, or if I have to pay for anything, I use all that, and I use it towards any deductions for my 1099 employment. And so far, y'all, I have not had to pay any money towards taxes. Now, mind you, some of my agency jobs were where I would receive a stipend, and those did take taxes out, but they took it out based on what my base rate was. My stipend was for housing and meals, but my base pay was taxed at a regular tax rate. And so, like I said, I have not ran into where I've owed money for taxes as of yet. And I believe it's more so because I allow for extra money to be taken out of my W-2 job, my staff job. And I always make sure, like the job I go weekend work every other weekend, and I'm the supervisor. I only work an average of 16 hours a week on average. Not even a week. I work on average like 16 hours every 2 weeks because I'm only there every other weekend. But I allow for like half of that to be paid. No, is it half? So 16 hours. I allow for a good portion. I think I said $100, but yeah, I think it's a little bit more. I think I did it for like $150 of that to be taken out for taxes every 2 weeks. So I really don't see any of that money from that job, y'all. I might get a paycheck at the end of that. I might get a paycheck for like $80 or so. No, it's probably like about $160 or so I may see of that money, but I don't care because I've already made money with my 1099 jobs for that week. My other job I think that job I allow for extra $75 a week, and I go pick that up. That's the one where I was doing full-time 8 hours, but now I just pick up like the 4-hour shifts. So I pick up on average about 3 to 4 4-hour shifts a week, and I allow for extra money to come out of that one for federal taxes as well. So I'm paying extra federal taxes on that one. So by the end of the year, and this happened last year, by the end of the year, I paid so much into federal taxes that I've offset any taxes I would have owed. Plus, I was able to get a refund once they counted all my deductions. So yeah, if y'all understand, hopefully y'all understand what I'm saying. I would encourage you to just save like 20% of your money that you earn, just in case you have tax liabilities at the end of the year. But it's harder to tell people. It's harder for people to save money. A lot of people, it's harder for them to save money when they can see it sitting there in their account versus letting the government go ahead and take it before it even reaches your hand. I think it's much easier to go ahead and let the government take it before it reaches your hand, and that's what I choose to do. So yeah, guys, this is just a short video. I wanted to talk to some of you about working a 1099 job, what I do when it comes to paying taxes. Again, I'm Muriel. This is Ask So by Muriel. I hope you enjoyed this short little video. I'll be back with another one. Talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Bye.